8, what we are doing is we are modeling situations with using linear equations. What does it mean to be a linear function? What do you comes to mind when I say the word linear? A line, right? So what we have to do is do the exact same thing, but we have to determine what our x is and what our y is, so we can create points and then put a line to it. So the first thing we have is, and hopefully this looks familiar because you were supposed to read this yesterday. It says, it has been found that a certain running record has changed with time according to a linear function. In 1920, the record for the 100-meter dash was 10.43 seconds. In 1983, it was 9.93 seconds. Let R represent the record in the 100-meter dash and T be the number of years since 1920. And now it says, fit a line for the function and use the function to predict your record in 2005. So the first thing that I want you guys to know is the thing that you are looking for, the thing that it's asking you, that's your y. Alright, so what is it asking us to predict? The record, right? So that is our y value. That is when we are doing a point. Remember, we're always looking at a point, x, y. So our records are going to be the y value. And that means our time, oh, sorry, I'm using my wrong pen. Thank you. So that means my time is my t. So now let's reread the sentence and determine a point. It says, in 1920, the record for the 100-meter dash was 10.43 seconds. Time is your x, record is your y. So that means, what is my point? 1920 and 10.43. Now I want you guys to see if you can see the other point. So read on and see if you can create the next point. Yep, I'll just give everyone a sec. Alright, so say it louder so that everyone can hear it. What is it? 1983 and 9.93. Alright. We have our points. To find our equation for our line, what's my next step? Finding the slope. Yep. So now you're gonna find your slope. So if you don't remember you have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I want you to take a second and find the slope of these 2 points. I do want to reiterate in this class that the path points, and you have been receiving them for participating in things like that. Just so you know, when we're working together, that's path points. So that is a requirement of the class. It's 30% of your grade, remember. So we have here our slope. Lincoln, did you get the slope? Okay. Yep, there's gonna be a negative. Okay, so these are the 2 points. Do you get the 2 points?
Yep.
Okay, so how can I find my slope? Because this is just like we did before. How do I find the slope of the line? It says y2, so what's my y2?
1983.
Remember, this is x and that's y. Yep, so 9.93 minus 10.43 over 1983, 1920. Very good. All right. We put this into our calculators. Negative 0.5 over 63. Because we have a decimal in our fraction, we have to do it more, because you can't leave a decimal in a fraction. So you have to divide that out. So you hopefully get negative 0.0079. All right, so now we have our slope. We have points. What can we do next? Very good. So we are going to take our first point, and Tim, what is my x and what's my y on this one? What's my number for my y? So I'm going to go y minus. Tim, do you know which one's x and which one's y? So what we're going to go y minus 10.43 is equal to my slope of negative 0.007 times x minus 1920. All right. Then we're going to distribute the my slope. Distribute that, so I get y minus 10.43 is equal to negative 0.0079x. Negative is a positive. And in your calculators, you should get 15.17, so 1.17.
I did not get that. I got that. I got 15.168.
168. Yeah, 168. Yep. Where's my calculator? I don't know what my calculator is. It's probably under here. You go, remember you're going negative is positive, so you take, can you see this?
Okay,
no.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it? Do you guys get it? You take 0.0079 times 1920. And I just rounded up. So then the last step is we are going to add 1043 to both sides. So I have y is equal to a negative 0.0079, bless you, plus, let's see, since I rounded up, that's going to be a 6. So it's going to be, was it 25?
598.
598, yeah. Or since we rounded it, actually, it probably would have been rounded already. Yeah, so 0.6. This, you might have 0.6 on this, on yours. Yep, yep. Because we rounded up here. So the people that didn't round will have this. We have that. All right. So, and I am actually going to use the 0.6. So our equation is y is equal to our negative 0.0079x plus 25.6, just to round up. All right, that's our equation. Now it says use that to predict what the record is in 2005. So where are we going to put 2005 in for x? So I'm going to go 2005. I'm finding it. That's where I'm finding. So it's going to be y equals negative 0.0079, putting in 2005 for x, plus 25.6. So you would throw that into your calculator to find out what the record is in 2005. Did you guys get 9.7605?
I'm sure.
I didn't round before though.
Yeah, it's close though, right?
9.7563.
Yeah, so it's to that second? Yep. But because you left it at the 598.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep. All right. Then it says to predict when it's 2050. So now I want you guys to try to predict when it's 2050. All right. So what did you guys get?
9.405.
Very good. Now, if you're writing big like me, you might have to write on the back in a second. Now, the last one, it says, in what year will the record be 9 seconds? So, we have to put now our 9 seconds in yep, because 9 seconds, that's our record. So we're putting it in for y, and we're solving for time, our x. So we're going to, we have the problem, remember, y equals negative 0.0079 x plus 25.6. That's just my equation. Since I'm looking for 9 seconds, I'm going to solve it in for my y and solve for x. It says right here, it says, in what year will it be 9 seconds? So I'm putting the 9 seconds in for my y and solving for x. So I will then, oh, what's the question, Hannah? What's the question? Oh. Because there's 3 steps here, I kind of stopped at 2, and then now it says, in what year will it be 9 seconds? Yeah. So then I have to put the 9 in for the y and solve for the x. So I'm going to subtract my 25.6. And I get negative 16.6 is equal to my negative 0.0079 x.
Whoa.
And divide by negative 0.0079.
So 21.1. 21.1.
20,
2,101.
yes, 2101. Yep. So x is 2101. So in the year 2101, the record will be 9 seconds.
Wow.
Questions?
5 years after 9/11.
All right. So biggest thing is, since it already told us that it was a linear function, we don't have to prove that it's a linear function. Like tomorrow, we might have to graph the equations to see if it's linear, but today it's going to tell us that they're linear. All right. So now go to your second one. So go to your second paper.
Which is our homework.
Yep.
Oh, the back.
Okay.
Oh, my selfish.
So the one thing is, I will tell you, if you want to fit everything here, I would definitely write small. The first thing I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I want you to determine what is going to be your x and what is going to be your y, so that we're going to do the first one just like we did, but you're going to determine what your x is and what your y is. Don't say it out loud yet. I want everyone to read it. You can ask questions, but don't say what they are. Yes?
Does it matter what one you plug in for which one?
Yes. Remember, your y is always the thing that you're looking for at the end. So it says at this rate, how much would 8 hours cost? So I kind of gave that away. So your cost is going to be your y. And then that forces your hours to be your x. All right. So I want you guys now to set up your 2 points. And I'll call upon someone in a minute to tell me what your points are. So set up your 2 points. Yes. So you got the points or you got a question? Okay, just one sec. All right. Anybody not have the points? All right, go ahead.
Is it 3 and 110?
So we have the first one is, yes, 3 and 110. And the second?
5 and 160.
And 5 and 160. Very good. Now I want you guys to find the slope. So the slope is your y1 or y2 minus y1 over your x2 minus x1. I'm walking you through the first problem, and then we're just going to make sure you know what x and y's are in all of them, and then you're going to work by yourselves. But I want to make sure you guys are on the right track first. All right. Just make sure you're listening when I come back. Yep. Carissa, what did you get for your slope?
25.
25 is right. Anybody, when you take and you subtract your 160 minus 110 over 5 minus your 3, you should get 25. Then you put it into your equation. So when you put it into your equation, remember you're putting it into the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Yes.
So do you subtract 1 times 160, you get that, and then you subtract the 3 from the 5, and then you just add what you get?
Okay, so what is 160 minus 110 is 50, right? And then this is 2,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
and then you divide it out.
Oh,
Yep,
thanks.
you're welcome. All right, so you should have got, Riley, what am I going to do after this point? What am I going to put in?
110 for y1, 25 for y3 for x1.
Very good. So we have your y minus 110 is equal to 25 times my x minus 3. And Lucas, what am I going to do next? Yep, so I'm going to distribute that. So I have y minus 110 is equal to 25x minus my 75. And then I'm going to add 110 to both sides. So y is equal to 25x plus 35. Then my last step is what it's asking me for. It says, how much is it going to cost for 8 hours? So I have to plug this 8 in for x. So I'm going to have y equals 25 times 8 plus 35. Gives me $235 for 8 hours. When we are doing a story problem, you want to make sure you know what you are solved for. Don't just have an answer. All right, before I let you just work, I I want you to quickly read through them and figure out what X and what is Y for each one of them so you don't set them up incorrectly. So I want you to quickly figure out what X and what Y is for each one of these. And then after that, I will let you guys work on your own. Yep. Yep. It wouldn't matter if I didn't do the correct answer, but what, except for the fact that it will matter is that if I actually write the equation, your equation is going to be different than mine. Right, because you're not going to have it. You have independent switch. So it's really important to know what your independent variable is. And your dependent variable is always the thing you're solving for. Yeah, so that's why that's what's going to matter. Yeah, and so since we're working up to get harder problems, we want to start. Yeah. So. All right, so your Y's, ladies and gentlemen. What, in number 2, what is your Y? Cost is right. So your cost is your Y, VCRs is your X. 3, again, your Y is cost, and your X is miles. Now this one's a little bit tricky. Your Y is the length. Your Y is your length, and your X is the load, like the load it is, like the weight of your load, or the load that you want to say it. So. And when it says, this is really important too, eyes and ears, even if you're going on, listen. Find the natural length of the spring. They want you to put in 0 is right for it. So what they're asking you to do is put X equals 0 after you set up your equation. Because your natural load means that there's no weight on there. All right? Going on to 5. When will he weigh? So when is your Y, so your time is your Y, and your pounds. And then here it says how many barrels were there at noon. So how many is the amount is your Y. Amount of barrels, and X would be time. All right, questions on any of those? Yep. Any questions on when X and Y's are? All right.